Choose prediction. We won this one. We'll run one more back, sure. Playing a little slow today. No doubt about that. Someone said when you're on the chubby emu video, how do you want to be credited, NL or RL? And I was like, who the heck is chubby emu? And then I Googled it. A boy put on a pair of socks. This is what happened to his ... A woman ate a suspicious burger for dinner. This is what happened to her ... A boy rubbed 1 tube pain relief cream between his legs. This is what happened to his ... Oh, man. That is great. Whew. Anyway, let's run it back. I got one more in me here for sure. Then we'll probably try to play some 20 minutes. I don't know, though. I feel like that amount of information on the screen might actually kill me. He's an actual doctor. I'm not knocking him, man. I think those are amazing titles. Nice try. Anyway, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of... You should have expected this, but I'm kind of out of anecdotes. I did almost die, though. This weekend. I mean, this week. I forgot it's not Monday just because I had 2 days off. Nope. No, thank you. Can you explain the Fed raising mortgage rates? Excuse me. The Fed doesn't raise mortgage rates. The Fed raises the Fed fund rate. Mortgage rates follow on from banks as a result of that. You're starting a question with a false premise. I don't want to get into it, okay? Drag 'em. Drag 'em. I mean, there's nothing... Ooh, super tinted rock. There's nothing stopping a particularly generous bank from offering you like a 1% mortgage rate, except for the fact that they can't be lending you money at 1% and then paying out interest to other people at 3.5%. But if they were like really nice, maybe if you were like really cool with them, if you were like, they would really do me a solid, maybe they get you in there at that 1%. Oh, thank you. You're like, I know the owner. Excuse me, you're not going to approve my 1% mortgage? I'd like to speak to Charles Schwab, please. Could you get Charles Schwab on the phone? Yes, Deech. Oh, he died in 1862? Okay. How about Charles Schwab the 7th? Can I get CS7? Secret room? So true. Give me... I would like to speak to JP Morgan Chase, please. Dude, I thought this run was going to be horrible. It turns out it's actually amazing. Hello, this is JP Morgan. Okay, I want a conference call with Chase. I don't just want to talk to JP Morgan. I want Chase on the phone as well. And while you're there, get Visa, okay? I don't know what the time zone difference is, but I would like Visa and MasterCard to be on the phone as well. I want everybody to hear this shit. Show me the money! Anyway. It's kind of funny how they call it American Express, but this like they don't accept it like anywhere. It doesn't seem very express. Well, okay, I'm gonna send that one back to the drawing board. I'm howling right now. Okay, don't make fun of me. Okay, I've been through the ringer this week. Will you return to the Peloton? Yeah. I know I've been through this before, but like, right, I've said it earlier on the stream. It's not that I was like, oh, I don't feel like doing the Peloton today. Like there was literally, you know, when you like could work out and you don't, so you feel a little guilty when you're in the routine. This was not that. Tuesday, I felt guilty. Wednesday, I was like, literally can't do it. I don't spend enough time not pooping to fit in one continuous ride. Also, I'm like dehydrated out of my gourd. So I'm pretty sure any doctor on earth would be like, don't exercise. Also, my butthole looks like an episode of Botched right now. So I don't want to sit on the damn seat. There's some things, the Peloton streak is an important, not the streak really, but just the habit is an important part of my foundation of life right now. You know, taking care of my cardiovascular health is something I take not lightly anymore. But also, I had a different sort of streak to worry about, and that was the one in my underpants. I'm not going in there. I refuse. Yeah, also, like, I thought that if I rode, there's a chance I could have had a heart attack. No doctor on earth would have been like, oh, this one? Yeah, we just advise you to get, like, a little exercise. I'm hoping, like, I feel semi-okay today, but I still feel like probably tomorrow I will not be good enough to work out. I'm thinking Sunday is possible and Monday is reasonable. I'm gonna buy it. Invoke the Bible effect. Seraphim in flight for 30 seconds. Okay, I can do that. Why does he hate the backpack? It's just annoying. It's just an annoying item. Now, Red Stew, on the other hand, now we're talking. Now we're talking. I totally forgot until you mentioned it. It is indeed Father's Day this weekend. Honestly, though, Kate has already given me the best Father's Day present by keeping me alive. Wednesday night, she made me some Korean rice porridge when I couldn't eat anything at all. Just eating like some rice soup with some carrots and like chicken thighs in it. I was like, I was living a little longer. I texted her and said, if you bring me home Pepto-Bismol, I'll be eternally grateful. She brought me home some Pepto-Bismol and some bananas. She handled all the baby stuff for like 3 days. Like now, a lot of people have been with me for like this stream so far. This is where I'm gonna lose many of you. But like being sick is hard. It's always hard. Nobody has it easy. However, that being said, there's an extra layer of difficulty when you also have a toddler. Because, like, your kid just does not care. At all. Like, I watched our daughter for actually, like, several hours yesterday because I wanted to feel helpful. And I was, like, you know, sitting on the couch, drinking some water, trying to, you know, munch on some bananas. And then she's like, I'm gonna, like, try to plug this USB charger into this power outlet, like, the wrong way. Like, I'm gonna put the USB into the outlet. And I'm like, don't do that. And then she's like, I'm gonna do it. And then I gotta stand up urgently and be like, no! And then she's like, okay, I'm not gonna do that anymore. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna try to scale the high chair like King Kong. And you're like, I wish you wouldn't. And then you're like, she's like, I'm gonna. Anyway, you get the idea. Genius baby. She knows how to troll. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. But I'm just... Don't get me wrong, I also would have rather not gotten sick. But I'm very glad that Caden the baby did not get sick, because this house would have been fucked up. It would have been a nightmare. I don't want to, like, it's one of those illnesses where, like, you know, sometimes you get sick and you're like, I'm gonna watch Shawshank Redemption, right? Something like that. This is one of those illnesses where, like, I was consumed at all times with, like, how did mankind live through this? Like, what the heck? Did you see the tiny item description? I was like, how did cavemen live through the norovirus when they got it back in the day? It doesn't make any sense to me. They didn't? You think so? I guess they could have died. Just due to dehydration. But I was like, if I was like part of a tribe or something like that, and then like I got norovirus and we had to move, they would have left my ass behind. Because I couldn't have made it. It wouldn't have been like from lack of will. It would have been like, you know, I just couldn't have made it. Unless I was like the damn leader, even if I was the leader, they would probably be like, we can't afford to waste this much time waiting for this jabroni to get better. But then I'm also like, maybe cavemen had it like a lot easier. Like maybe they didn't get that sick because they lived in smaller groups, right? Like that's an interesting anthropological question. Were infectious diseases, I'm not talking about like the medieval era, I'm talking about like, you know, 10,000 years ago, were infectious diseases, maybe even like 50,000 years ago, were infectious diseases like way less common? This is something I don't necessarily think I could get an answer for from chat. This ain't Google? Well, you know, I'm just speaking hypothetically or whatever. Yeah, I know agriculture, the domestication of animals caused some increase in infectious disease spread. Then also, I mean, you got to think like, you know, stuff like the chicken pox. It's not like when you knew everybody in your tribe, it's not like randomly one day someone would be like, what the fuck, I'm itchy, right? Like you'd have to be introduced to somebody who had it that you had never seen before. Or you could be the first person ever infected, I suppose, but... But like, I guess what I'm asking is like, so cavemen, obviously they ate a lot of nuts and they ate a lot of vegetables and a lot of fruits, okay? I've said many times, how awesome would it be to be like a caveman on like the island where the dominant staple crop is watermelons versus like a caveman on an island where the dominant staple crop is durians. Man, oh man, I would have drafted if I get first pick, put me on I don't want to be on the cassava islands. I still want nose goblin. Put me on the damn watermelon island for sure. Anyway, but that being said, obviously when they could, they also ate meat. But when they ate meat, I mean, this is a question, I don't know if it can even be answered at all. When they ate meat, before the advent of readily reproducible fire, did they eat raw meat? If so, was there foodborne illness from the raw meat? Or were viruses and bacteria like, we don't even know humans exist yet, so we're not going to infect them or whatever? That's not exactly scientifically apt, but Maybe for a while the viruses were like, we don't even know that this is a possible vector for infection, so just chill. We'll get them later, dude. Dude, chill. We'll get them later. What the hell? I think we're gonna get an angel room with a great reroll here. Probably a lot of parasites. I believe that. I mean, when you think about it, like, I guess that's why it's not funny. Come on, we're talking about abstracted individuals 100,000 years ago. I mean, cavemen must have been fucked up like all the time. They must have been infected by everything. Never like had what we would consider to be like a nutritionally complete day. Sleep was probably messed up. Stress levels through the damn roof because you're actually being like, preyed upon as well. Just your very existence is in question every single day. No Wi-Fi. So true. They deal 33% damage. Okay, you know what? Sure. No air fryer. You think they had a more fulfilling life? I don't know. That's one of those million-dollar questions, right? I don't think they had time to worry about higher order questions like the fulfillment quality of a life. But, oh my god. But in its own way, maybe that feels like that feels like a fulfilling life, To have always had a purpose, that purpose just being survival. We have 2 item rooms here. Yeah, I would say like it's pretty fulfilling to not be eaten by a tiger. That probably hits like, I would say it probably hits better than writing a novel that ends up on like the New York Times bestseller list. I'm not talking something easy like nonfiction where you can just go on a bunch of podcasts. I'm talking about like a fiction book, like something that people do not want to buy. That's not an oof. It's just stating the reality of the world's tastes for print media these days, man. I guess that can still be an oof, I suppose, now that I think about it. I don't know, the Bible still sells pretty well. Hi-yo! Does it though? Because they're giving it away like for free, right? Like just on the street. I've seen a new, I don't know if anybody else has seen this in Vancouver. I've seen a new crop of street canvassers. And I have never stopped because I'm not naive. But they have no, I need to build you a story here, okay? They have no signage at all. So normally when you're walking, you'll see like a big, like a placard that has like a crab nebula on it or something and then says like, do you feel satisfied? And then that frames a bookshelf that has a bunch of books and pamphlets. And then there's 2 6'4", 55-year-old men in like a sweater with a button-up shirt and a tie, but the sweater's over top, and then it's tucked into like gray slacks. And you're like, those are Scientologists. 100%. There's no, you could spot it a mile away. When you walk by, they go, and you go, and there's not, you don't have to be impolite about it, but you just move on. But there's a new one that I've seen, and it's been like a month of this, It's really young, like vibrant canvassers. No charity branding or anything like that. They don't have like a product or anything. They just sort of have like a table, and they're at the like very high foot traffic areas. They're kind of dancing. They're going, and then when they see you, they go, "Oh my God, I love your shoes." And then the first, I hate to say it, but I've lived in a city for a while. My response to "Hey, I love your shoes" is always, "Sorry, I'm not interested." And to their credit, they don't push, because I don't think the push ever works anyway. But they just go, "Okay," and then they keep dancing, and they're like on to the next target. But I do have to say, I'm very curious about, and maybe this is what they're trading on in a marketing term, so to speak. But like, I'm very curious about what they're pushing, because of the fact that they've mixed it up a little bit. They're not doing the traditional, like, annoy you technique. Well, I'm never gonna stop, because obviously, like, if it's something that good, they wouldn't have to sell it on the street like that. But I would like to know what it is, because they got a different tact, and I see them stopping people all the time. Like, people are, I wouldn't say it's working like 50% of the time, but I would definitely say it's got people stopping much more than they stop for, like, "Hey, I love your shoes, by the way, like, you want to donate $100 a month to this charity?" They're revolutionizing the canvassing game. Talk to them for the anecdote? No, I don't want to talk to them. I just want to know. I just want to know, please. I can make it. I can't make it. Ooh, okay. Is it better to hard turn down a solicitor or treat them like a human being and then turn them down? You should just know, right? I guess I put the cart in front of the horse here. You should know you're being sold to just by the way an interaction starts. Like, did they come to your door and they're a stranger and they start with like, "Hi, how are you?" If you come to my door and the first question you ask is, "How are you?" you don't want the honest answer, because the honest answer is that I was great until about 30 seconds ago, and now I'm wondering why there's a stranger at my door who wants to talk to me. I guess I'm not interested in that bomb. So, like, in that situation, if I said hi and then you said, "How are you?" my next question, or my next statement would be, "Sorry, I'm not interested," because obviously this is like a sales pitch. So I think in that situation, you just, I don't know. Have you ever bought something like door to door? I never would. Because it has to be ass. I would say if a child came to my door and was like, "Here's Girl Scout cookies or, chocolates for my school charity," or something like that, yes. If an adult came to my door trying to sell something, there's a 0% chance. So I'm not going to waste both of our times. Cursed eye, cursed eye. I sell door to door. It honestly isn't too hard. I don't know, man. I feel like it might be like a demographic thing. I can't imagine anybody my age ever buying anything door to door. It seems unfathomable to me. I don't even want to answer my door. So true. It is true. This is another episode of shit my mom says. I hope nobody's taken this idea. And I love my mom, but the texts we have are funny, because like Ed Sheeran's song on Sesame Street, sometimes we live in two different worlds, okay? That's a little bit of a deep cut for you. But, so one time, there was a knock on my door at like 7:30 a.m. It's worth. It's worth. It's kind of worth. And I went down to see what was going on, and it was an officer of the law. So I opened the door, and I was like, hello? And he said, good morning. We're here because, like, there was a break-in nearby, and we were wondering, like, if you had seen anything or if you had heard anything in the night. And I was like, oh, no, sorry. And he said, okay, have a good day. He didn't need to know. I saw every second of that shit go down. I saw their face. I got their name. I saw what they stole, and I'm just joking. Anyway, so I told my mom, I was like, oh, I'm a little tired because I got woken up because a cop knocked on our door this morning. And she said, Ryan, never open the door for someone in a police officer's uniform because that could just be, I know you're like, based mom, but wait. Never open the door for someone in a police officer's uniform because that could just be someone pretending to be a police officer, and then they will kill you. Which I know is a thing that could happen, but also they could just not dress as a police officer and kill you. Is the they'd like, I would have opened the, well, I guess it's 7:30 a.m. I wouldn't have opened the door for just anybody. But if they just knocked at like 2 p.m., I would at least open the door, and then they could be like, bang, you know? But I guess if you specifically wanted to murder people in the sunrise hour, maybe it's a special technique. Anyway. Yeah, I don't want to open my door. Like, I don't want to... Every form of interaction with strangers is compromised. Can't use voicemail anymore. 99% spam calls. 1% some lady in Vancouver who thinks she has my phone number and keeps giving my phone number to, like, doctor's offices and stuff like that, which I imagine has probably screwed up her life pretty bad, but, like, I got my own shit going on, sorry to say. Email, sure, yeah, but it's still, like, very high spam coefficients, or if not, like, spam is one thing. Obviously, like, spam is bad, but, even more annoying than spam these days is just like the endless marketing materials from businesses that you went to like 1 to 2 times in your life. I know you can unsubscribe, but I'm just saying it's annoying. How are you still getting this lady's calls? Bro, I'm telling you, she sucks. She's like ass at handling appointments and stuff, dude. She's horrible. Okay, that's pretty good. Door to door is the worst. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I would really only open my door to be arrested, I think. If maybe I ordered a pizza, but the pizza didn't have the ability to do, like, prepay online so they could just leave it at the door, there's only one reason to open the door, and I think that's to be arrested and then go to prison. For a stranger, at least. All the forms of communication are bad. But definitely, there's never been a situation on the street where I've been stopped by a stranger and been like, oh, I'm really glad that happened. And I swear to you, this story is true. I wouldn't say I feared for my life, but on my very cursed walk with the baby on Tuesday, where it felt like I was walking through molasses, there was a guy, and it's just, well, you ever see people, you know, in Diablo 2, there's like champion enemies. that's like, oh, it's the same as a normal enemy, but they got like a special, like lightning damage or something like that, and thus they get a name. So instead of just being like a grunt, they're like, my name is Pig Thor the Blasted or something like that. I saw a champion enemy in IRL space, and he was like 6'5", completely bald, and was wearing a bucket hat. Like, he looked like he came straight out of the Len Steal My Sunshine music video. And he was walking in the same direction that I was. And I was not scared. But he was walking with like some rhythm, right? It wasn't like a walk just for utility. Like, he was getting some sauce out of it, and he was walking with a young lady. Then he turned around and he started walking towards me while I was walking towards him, and I was like, oh no, something's gonna, my like acetylcholine started to spike a little bit, right? Luckily, he stopped at someone that was like 2 people in front of me, and I heard him say, hey man, settle a bet for me and my wife. Do you lean right or lean left? And then the guy said, I guess I'm more of in the center. And then he turned to his wife and he shouted, you were right! And then like jogged back up to her. And then it was just like, it was an interaction I was very thankful to have avoided. Just a very strange question to have to deal with, I guess. Weirdly wholesome. Is it wholesome though? Because I felt like if he said, I lean left, he might have been punched in the face by this champion enemy. Or if he said, I lean right, maybe he would have been punched in the face. But I was kind of getting the vibe that like there was a wrong answer to the question. Also, I don't know if it's like, maybe it's like tourist energy or something. It's like a tourist will come to your city, go on a walk, and be like, oh yeah, I know everything about like the way people in Vancouver feel about politics, because I talked to one person on the street, and they said they lean to the center, so... I was like, bro, you're not getting the representative sample of what Vancouver is like. We're out for a nature walk. It's like 3 p.m. on a Tuesday, dude. Normal people are at work right now. You were talking politics? No, man, I was playing Pokemon Go. It's a good run. I completely thought it was a question about his penis. You guys are sick, dude. Why not? Worth. I too thought it was a penis question. I don't think so. I think it was about something much more private and intimate. Someone's political beliefs. Finally, some range. Oh boy. Which would you answer? You're gonna think I'm putting some sauce on it. Anytime anyone talks to me about anything on the street, I simply say, sorry, not interested. Even before they can complete their sentence. And it has cost me 0 opportunities in my life. Except, because you get the vibe, people come up to you and they say, excuse me, are you Northern Lion? And I'm like, okay, sorry, not interested. Most of the time, I don't even let them finish their sentence, please. Nobody is out on the sidewalk being like, we're giving away $1 million to the nicest person. Nice, hey, great shoes, here's $1 million. It's always like, you know, well, I really like your shoes. By the way, would you like to buy some like bullshit? Someone asks for directions, you just shoos them away? Okay, well, to be fair, I did. An older woman said, excuse me, do you live around here? Which again, not, you could tell she's a boomer because there's a question that no millennial or zoomer would ever lead with because it's fucking crazy. But I said, I'm familiar with the area. And then she said, are there any restaurants here? And I said, oh yeah, there's like a pizza place and a donair shop down this way. And then she walked in the other direction. But like, so occasionally I will answer some questions in public, but you get the vibe you're being solicited to, for sure. Otherwise, if somebody that was like, this is a little rude, but it's also a little bit in the real world. If like somebody that was my age came up to me and was like, excuse me, like, do you know where this place is? I would probably just say no, sorry. Because in my head, the question I want to ask is, where's your phone? I'd just be a little concerned. I'm not saying, oh, you can't talk to me unless you own a smartphone. I'm just like, they're so ubiquitous that I feel like you've led with a question that's like, hey, do you self-identify as a nice person? And then when I say, yes, I'm a nice person, they go, okay, now here's the real routine that we're running here. Which is, give me all your money. This is a stick-up. Oh yeah, do every nice thing ever. Anyway, /marker. That was Isaac